You're so cute, girl.
Thank you.
You look amazing.
So, today I have my big sister, and I want to tell you guys that she's the person that inspired me to travel, person who inspired me to dance. She's a writer, she's an actor, she's an amazing big sister. Please give a warm welcome to Agirlwithahorsetattoo.
Glad to be on the channel, Girl with Horse Tattoo. I'm subscribed and you should too.
Okay, so first off, just tell my viewers, I know how awesome you are, just tell my viewers what makes you awesome. What's the ingredients? Give me about 5 things.
I think what makes me awesome is that I feel awesome when I am brave. Bravery, I think, is what it is. For so many times I would try to like diminish my light or try to be all like humble and cute. Oh, it's not so great. But I think when I started hitting my 30s, it was really about, accepting how great I am and being like, no, like I was the first person to come out to California. Like I took big leaps and I was so scared, and if it wasn't for the support of our family and the support of my friends and family calling back home and seeing the things that you guys were doing, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So another reason I'm awesome is because I have awesome people who walk with me side by side.
Wow, that's really good. I took away from that bravery, accepting bravery, and having a brave community around you. I really enjoyed that. So that brings me to my next question. What are some of the emotions that go through your head when you are auditioning? Because you are an actor and you have to audition frequently. What are some things that you go through during your audition from beginning to end?
It's the process, right? Because you can't become an actor without at least giving into the process. And so one of the things is when you get the audition, you're like, yay, I got an audition. So I would say excitement. So once you get the audition, you're like, woohoo, I got it. And then you're like, oh no, what if I'm not good enough? Was this an accident? Did they maybe send me this audition? And so there's a lot of things that go through it, like insecurity and fear and anxiety and frustration. But when you're doing the project, obviously you're trying to conjure the emotions of whatever is needed for the scene. So it's feeling, who am I, under what circumstances, and who am I talking to? So those are the ways that you get to the emotions of the character or person or yourself. If it's in a commercial, who are you? What kind of feeling are you trying to portray and set forth to the audience? And then after you've done the audition, there's just this complete overwhelming relief that it's over. And then you're like, well, on to the next one. There's still some kind of anxiety there's still a little bit of anxiety towards like, I hope I get it. I really want this job. But really you just have to kind of let everything go. Like the performance is the audition.
Wow.
Like this is the piece that I'm giving to you. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. That sounds like adrenaline rush. And you do so many auditions. So it sounds very exhilarating and exhausting at the same time. How would you say that you use the things when you're auditioning, the tactics in your writing? Like how would you approach your writing, and what makes a good script?
Everything comes down to story. What are you trying to say? Whether you're writing something or performing or anything, it's what are you trying to say? Like, what is the gist of the story? Once you get that, it's just figuring out point A to point B. It's like, who am I at the beginning of this scene? Who am I at the middle of the scene? Who am I at the end of the scene? Where am I going? What is the point? Like, why am I doing this? You do it on the feeling side for the actor and the circumstances, but when you're writing, it's the same thing, only from a plot point and from a character standpoint. And so I personally feel like you're using the same parts of your brain, whether it's writing or singing or performing. It's all that creative juices, because when you're writing, it has to be a fully fledged out character. Like you have to have something that feels real and something that resonates with the people who are watching it, or the people who are listening to it, or you yourself. And I know it's cliche, but like Steven Spielberg is one of my favorite directors. And he said, yeah, he did E.T., you know, Color Purple, all these great films. And one time someone asked him, like, how do you know, like, what projects to do? And he said, I make the things I want to see. And I think that is just so simple. Wow. And when I'm acting and when I'm performing and when I'm choosing what things to audition for, because sometimes, especially as I've gotten older, I'm turning things down that I don't want to audition for. It's like, I don't want to do this project. It's not for me. Because it's like, what do I want to see? Yeah. What art do I want to put in the world? And for both writing and acting, it's the same thing.
Wow. So it sounds like it takes like a lot of empathy and a lot of discipline and just relatability to your audience. I was watching an interview with Chadwick Boseman, and he was saying that, you know, he said a lot of no's before he said yes because of the character and integrity that he was trying to present. So that's really, really, really awesome. This episode series is not just about careers, but it's also about relationships. So as we segue to the next topic, what do you look for when you're dating? What do you look for in the perfect guy?
Well, I ain't dating right now. Hashtag Corona still real. She real out here.
Follow her on Instagram, Maydell Clarice.
But if I were dating, for me, it's all about a sense of humor. And I know that's a lot of people say that, but for me, life is just so hard. It's so intense. In my life, obviously, as you can just see what I just did, I like to sometimes see the silver lining. I like to see the like spill of laughter after you've just fallen in the mud, you know, because I can't do this thing called life without humor,
right?
Without a sense of comic relief. And so
medicine for sure.
Yeah, it's truly medicine for the soul. And so that's one of the things that I look for in a partner. And then kindness. Well, I guess kindness would be first. Because even in humor, I hate when people are like, oh, it's just a joke. You can't take a joke. That's not the kind of sense of humor I'm looking for. I'm looking for, like, you can be witty without tearing someone down.
Right.
And so that's what I'm looking for. Someone who's kind and who's funny. And then obviously, you know, I can be shallow sometimes, so I have to be attracted to them. They don't have to be attractive to everybody.
Right.
They just got to be attractive to me. And if they're funny, most likely they'll have, you know, more points.
I always think it's interesting how, like, couples, I know some married couples, they start to look alike, or are opposites attract, or some couples are, you know, compatible, practical partners. Some couples are not initially attracted to their other person, and over time they become attracted because it's like they're looking from like the characteristics, the inside out. So I would say for myself, it's definitely, you could like pick a yearbook and everybody would be my type, because it's like a varying, like, it's just what you have inside, your characteristics, your you know, who you are, like how do you make decisions, who you are under the pressure, that can make you look attractive. Marriage, how do you view marriage? Is that something that you aspire to do, or is that something that you uphold? And in a religious standpoint, like, how do you view marriage? What does that mean to you?
I don't aspire to marriage. It would be nice.
If you like it, then you should put a ring on it. Oh, no, we're not paying for that song.
If you got 5 seconds, that's good enough. That's good enough. I am a very, like, spiritually Christian person, but I don't aspire to marriage. I'm not seeking it out. Like, I'm not dating right now. Because I am very, like, people are always like, oh, well, you should not have this, like, big list of the things that you want, but I'm very uncompromising. That's just my personality. I have no desire to date around. I have no desire to settle. I need to be an equal. I need to make sure that whoever I'm with will be the kind of father that I want for my children, that I don't have right now, but I want some in the future. So he needs to be someone who will be an active participant in the raising of his children. No, like, oh, daddy's babysitting. No, that's called parenting, and you should be doing it. And I've met a few fathers who are absolutely wonderfully involved in their kids' lives, but so many fathers, like, they don't, like, what's your kid allergic to? What's your kid's favorite food? Who's your kid's best friend?
Yeah.
They don't know. That's something that I look forward to. Somebody who's attentive, who is into details, who is into planning. I'm a planner. Well, pre-COVID, I was a planner. Now I got no plans. But
somebody give her a plan.
Y'all, I miss plans that you can follow through with.
Putting things on the calendar and then marking them off.
Yes, because they happened. Not marking them off because they didn't happen.
Right.
Or are not going to happen. But I'm also like, I'm making myself sound like this crazy, like, strict librarian person. But, like, I just want somebody to have fun with and that I can do life with equally and fully. And yeah,
you talk about like somebody that is emotionally invested in their upbringing, their offspring, and someone who is kind and that has full of humor, and someone that sees you as an equal and as qualified and intelligent as you are. But what would be some deal breakers? Like, let's say if the guy was, all of these things, but he had this, but let's say he wasn't, like, he didn't have an amazing job, or he had all these things, but he already had 2 kids. What would be a deal breaker for you?
2 kids I'm not worried about. If he's attentive to those kids, that's obviously like, hey, you already have them. I already know that you're good as a father because you currently have kids. Deal breakers for me is somebody who says that they're separated, that they have a situation.
Entangled, for sure.
Entanglements. Deal breakers for me will be unkindness. What is that a word?
Just hardened heart.
Yeah, someone who's mean to people who work for them or work with them, like someone who's mean to waiters. Because if you're overtly mean to somebody who's serving you, whether it's good service or bad service, like, that's just, no, I don't want to live with somebody like that. Someone who has a really strange temper, like bad temper, that for me is a red flag.
Yeah.
I am a little bit put off by heavy drinkers.
I was just thinking that the little addictions that are like, like seeds for like just
things that most people like overlook. Like, people are like, oh yeah, I just like to party, but like, are you partying every day though? So we just like, you know what? Whoever you are, do what you got to do with your life. It's just not for me.
You would think that that's pretty standard. So
yeah, I'm simple.
Someone who's kind, not mean, like treats everyone with compassion, doesn't hold their head above everyone, walking around thinking that they are just high and mighty. You've heard it, folks. If you like what you see, Medell Clarice, follow her on Instagram.
I got one today.
What you doing?
I got one today from Israel saying, "You're so gorgeous, beautiful. I would love to treat you. You're the type of woman that you could marry," or some.
Well, he said a lot. It's better than hi. What you doing? How was your day?
If you trying to marry me and we ain't never had a conversation, then I ain't trying to marry you.
So you don't believe in love at first sight?
No, I do not believe in love at first sight. I do not believe in love at first sight. Prove me wrong. Go for it. Some people have experienced it. So I say more power to them. But with my brain, I need to know that you don't have no kids that you don't take care of. I need to know how you treat your parents and siblings. I need to know, do you constantly get checked for STDs? Are you safe? Do you wear your mask all the time?
Okay, so yes, this is turning into...
Oh, sorry, that list just got long.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what to do. I've given you... Don't ever say I never gave you... Yeah. All right. Let's go on to my favorite part to talk about. Who's someone that inspires you? Give me 2 people. And this could be inspire you to act, inspire you to write, inspire you to, just be a good human being. treat the world nice?
Career wise, I would say very inspirational to me personally would be Debbie Allen, Issa Rae, Mindy Kaling, people like that, women who have taken the reins of their career and been able to succeed, and not only succeed, but bring people with them and bring people who look like them with them, even if it took longer than we wanted it to take. People who have a vision forward and a hand back.
I definitely have seen that firsthand from Debbie Allen, how the people that work with her, collaborate with her, sponsor her, they see the vision, they support it, and they are fervently like in her corner, and it's so infectious to be around. That energy is so motivating, because like when she talks, people listen and they stop what they're doing, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's like, it's amazing to see people in their element.
Yeah.
People who've created a space for themselves.
Right.
And like I said, not only for themselves.
That's attractive.
But
that's attractive. People. That is very, not to go back to dating, but that is very attractive to see someone in their element, not thirsty, but available. That is a full package to me. It's just like, you shine, you also are open, and you also are like, attacking life, like not waiting. You're not complacent. Mm-hmm. You are moving in the fast lane, but you also know how to like turn over your blinker and be like, okay, hey, do you need a ride?
Yes.
Let's ride together.
Exactly. Like, I'm in a car, you're walking, I can see that you're trying to go somewhere, so let's go together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For
sure.
Sure.
Very attractive. I used to do Big Brothers and Sisters. Very attractive to me, men who are mentoring. So attractive.
Wow. Okay. This is the last and final question.
That was so quick.
Yeah. In 5 years, where is Maydell Clarice? What is she doing? What does she have? How does she feel?
In 5 years, Maydell Clarice will have her own production company, working on films that she is either writing, directing, producing, or starring in. And who knows? Be all 4.
Wow, you've heard it here, and we definitely have it documented. And now we're gonna finish out with a fun question.
Okay.
So you guys don't know this about my sister, but she is always prepared. She's always preparing for the last day on earth. She never likes to go without. We always stock up at Costco. So just to be fun, let's hear from you. What would your perfect day in the apocalypse look like?
A perfect day in the apocalypse is, I wake up with the sun, I grab my axe, my machine gun, a jug of water in my backpack with the emergency supplies, and we go foraging. We find some nuts, some berries, I skin a rabbit, we open up a clinic, grab some more medical supplies, head back to the...
Hear the details?
By, the sun is about to set, you like, I got about an hour and a half to get back home. You get back home before the sun sets. Okay. So you don't know what pops off at night in the apocalypse. Get into your cave, put the gate down, lock it, put the drawer in front of the door, and then you party.
Safety first, folks. All right, so tell America, tell the Mustangs, all of my subscribers, tell them, what does the first Vice President of the United States of America, the first Indian American, the first woman being Vice President, what does that mean to you, and how are you going to seize the moment?
Miss Kamala showed up, and she showed out, and she showed all of us that we need to show up and what?
Show out.
Show out.
She did what needed to be done. Period. Well, that completes the interview. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm a girl with a horse tattoo.
I'm Maydell Clarice.
And there you have it, folks. That's the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time.
My baby sister so grown up. It's so good. She's so good, y'all. Like, subscribe.